timed that pretty well, didn't I? It's okay. I'm just glad no one was hurt.
Paimon noticed you doing something too, Dainsleif. Were you helping get them out?
Of course. When I asked Nefer to conduct this investigation, I was not naive to the dangers involved. I had a duty to ensure your safety.
Good to know your sense of justice is still intact after all these years.
I take that to mean that you saw the truth. That comes as a great relief.
I certainly did. And thanks to your help, I also managed to trap Rerir inside the chess set.
Whoa, really? How'd you manage that?
Well, to be honest, I sensed that something was wrong long before we made it to the temple. By using this fragment to probe into Rerir's past, well, the monster formerly known as Rerir, it seemed—
But how did he track you through your thoughts alone? That shouldn't be possible.
Rerir was a secret agent who reported directly to the Vinster King. He is an expert at finding a trail and hunting down—
No wonder.
He infiltrated the chess set, read my thoughts, and built a new virtual chess set inside of it. That's why we weren't—
Speaking of your chess set, it's quite a remarkable item.
You overestimate me. I only have a connection with one of his underlings, the Ibis King. You all saw how this came to be. A long time ago, the Iab massacred my tribe, the Shimti, in our home. The Unut and the Iab fought a bitter battle over the rights to a well, all for the sake of a non-existent 50 million Mora. The final blow to the Iab came at the victory feast, when an Unut assassin beheaded their chief right before my eyes. The remaining Iab fled and have been scattered. Having gotten my revenge, I returned to my hometown, where to my surprise, the nearby temple was still standing. There it was, seemingly immune to the relentless hostility. As I stood there gazing at the temple, I noticed a cat just outside. This chess set is my gift from the Ibis King. The chessboard within is made to the same specifications as the one in the mausoleum of King Deshret, and represents— With this chessboard in its container, I gained a certain ability to perceive hidden secrets. Now, you could conclude that the Ibis King simply wanted— Every god plays favorites. Their hearts are as fickle as any humans, full of secrets.
It is the same with all powerful forces, including fate itself.
If you're alluding to the Abyss, then yes, I agree. Gather the others. It's time to share everything I've learned. Thank you all for being here. As promised, I did some further investigating into the Reicher of Solnari's background. I am pleased to the Reicher of Solnari, real name Rerir, was once a Khanrian subject who served the Vinster King.
So that's why he's so obsessed with the moon.
A tragic tale, to be sure. But it does not excuse his many transgressions. No matter how much Rerir suffered in the past, the fact remains that he is what we know today as the Wild Hunt, wreaking havoc. He becomes more dangerous with each passing day. If left unchecked, it is simply a matter of time before all of Teyvat suffers the consequences. This is a threat that the Knights of Favonius cannot ignore.
A question for Miss Columbina. Forgive me if this is presumptuous, but have you ever seen the spatial gateway that appeared in Rerear's memory?
Never. But I have heard stories of something called the Moon Gate, and this seems to fit the description.
Miss Lama, any thoughts on this?
In the lore of the Frost Moon Scions, the moon is believed to hold many secrets. Some sources speak of ancient. The term Moon Gate is one I have heard before. But as is the case with all of our legends, there are no
Then back to Miss Columbina. As a moon goddess yourself, do you have some idea of where the Moon Gate leads to?
Not at this stage, sorry. I do hold the power of the Frost Moon.
But there's more to the power of the Frost Moon than that?
Yes. A moon goddess has the right to open the Moon Gate, since it is a path to the moon. But as never, and right now, I need to conserve my energy to fight the Rapier of Solnari.
I agree. Better to save your strength. But if you'll humor me for a moment, I have a bold conjecture of my own regarding the world beyond the gateway. I highly suspect that neither Tholindis nor Rerear made it through unscathed. With the abyssal power he wields, no ordinary foe can touch him, let alone tear him to shreds. And yet, the wild hunt proliferates wherever.
So your theory is that Rerear was physically torn to shreds by some powerful force? Hence, why the wild hunt is a
Makes sense to me. Explains why the wild hunt is so pervasive, and why he's been trying to piece himself back together. He was
Without the power of the Abyss on his side, he almost certainly would have perished the moment he was torn apart.
I could not agree more. The power of the Abyss is most surely a curse.
It is a compelling explanation, and one that accords with my present understanding of Abyss creatures. This raises some interesting questions. That being said, regardless of whether my research bears fruit, I would like to thank Miss Nefer for conducting such a thorough investigation.
My pleasure, Mr. Albedo. I too hope that the information I have shared today proves useful as we look to formulate the next stage of our plan.
Hey! What is it, Dainsleif? You look really upset!
It's just... when I think of the man I once knew as Rerear, I struggle to understand why things had to turn out like this.
The two of you used to be friends, didn't you? I don't know if these words will bring any comfort, but my heart goes out to you.
Mine too. We can never know all the hows and whys of the way things are. The moon and stars are full of untold secrets and lies. And
Those are the first comforting words I've heard in a long time. Thank you, both.
Well, I think this is a good place to end today's meeting. I'm sure Nefer needs some time to recover. She's been...
That's very thoughtful of you, Lama.
Of course.
Sounds good to me. Take some time to rest and digest before we reconvene to nail down a plan. Hey, is this a bad time? Hope I didn't kill the conversation. No need. Come on, let's talk outside. Anyway, Nefer went back to the curatorium to get some rest. But before she left, she shared some things with me that I thought you should be aware of. Firstly, although she managed to trap the Raker of Solnari inside her chess set, there's no guarantee that the power of the Ibis King is any match for one of the 5 sinners. Their powers, it's only a matter of time before he finds a way to break out. We have to come up with a plan and take care of him before that happens.
Honestly, my mom figured that might be the case. So, how long have we got?
Well, I asked her that same question. She talked for a long time, but for the most part, it seemed like she was trying to convince me how precious her chess set is. It felt like some kind of sales pitch, you know? The kind where you end up handing over Mora against your will? Anyway, after all that, she finally answered the question. 2 days, at most.
2 days? Holy moly! Can we even recruit enough help in that time?
That remains to be seen. Which brings me to the second issue. Dainsleif is obviously conflicted about this whole thing. But given how little time we have, there's no way we can pull this off without his help. You have some history with him, right? Do you think maybe you could talk to him for us? Great. I appreciate it. All right, on to item 3. So, Albedo, Durin, and I put our heads together and came up with a plan. Can't promise. We figured we'd bounce the idea off you first. We'll explore it further once everyone's recovered.
Oh, Paimon's dying to hear this.
All right, so here's what we're thinking. We felt a little uneasy about roping you into this. I mean, firstly, you're not locals, and secondly, none of us are your boss. You're well within your rights to refuse if you so choose.
Roping us in? Why would you even say that? We know the stakes here.
I choose my words very intentionally, I'll have you know. I like to think there's an art to striking a down-to-earth tone even when the stakes are through the roof.
Sir Varka, I have a few thoughts about this plan.
I'm all ears.
I think we can be more flexible with how the roles are allocated. In my view, the most sensible lineup would be like this.
I see your point, yeah. But if that's how we're going to approach, to be clear, I don't doubt your abilities. Far from it. I want
to do everything within my power. The Rahier of Solnari is a truly fearsome
Well, that tracks with what I've heard. Jean's mentioned in her letters that you're so diligent it's almost abnormal. As in, most people weigh up the risks and rewards in situations like this. But you seem to just march towards danger without a moment's hesitation. Of course, everyone appreciates a fearless pioneer. But all that aside...
Thank you, Sir Varka.
I should be the one thanking you. It means a lot to have you on board. I'll give some serious thought to your suggestions.
This is a thorough plan, but I do have one last question before we take action.
Great question. Albedo's been hard at work analyzing Rahier and the Wild Hunt's behavioral patterns. His conclusions are as follows. Firstly, from the earliest known confrontation until now, Rahier has never displayed any ability to manipulate the dimension of space. Secondly, he seems to have a particularly strong vendetta against our group. If we put him in a fight-or-flight situation, he'll choose to fight every time. Thirdly, finally, and most importantly, he is consumed. Turns out, we tick both of those boxes. We have a reincarnated moon in our ranks, and a spy who accessed his private memories without permission.
As someone who's had their fair share of interactions with the Wild Hunt, those all seem like valid observations.
Understood. Then I will defer to the verdict of the group.
Well, everyone, that's the plan in full detail. Albedo and Durin are carrying out their part as we...
Plan approved. Scheduling.
Okay, any firepower you need, I got you covered. Let's light this baby up.
The Frost Moon Scions are behind you as well.
And the rest of you? No objections? All right, then it's settled. This is the plan we're going with. Next up, an old tradition of mine. Anyone who wants to back...
Wait, we can still back out of this?
Everyone says things they regret, right? I don't want anyone feeling trapped because their mouth said yes before they're...
A very people-first approach. I hear...
Who'd you hear it from? D-Luke?
Shh. We don't use people's real names at work. This contact will be...
This plan can only work if everyone does their part. Flint's and I will absolutely support it.
We shall indeed. You'll be glad you accepted our help. Also, you are the last person I expected to see here, Miss Dory.
It's not often I get called Dory in a work context. So, the longer your name, the higher your net. In that case, Mr. Flint's here must be worth a fortune. That's right, I know your full name. It's...
The walls are thin here. I'd appreciate you keeping that a secret.
Okay, fine. I'm actually only here as a favor for someone else.
Oh, does this mean someone out there actually has the power to boss Dory around?
It most certainly does not. We have a long-standing and mutually beneficial business partnership. She's actually the mom of a friend of yours. Said mom supplied me with a great little trinket, but now that lady's ruined everything. If I don't start building a little goodwill now, my own...
Okay. So what exactly is so special about this pendant?
It's a lucky charm that a great mage made for me. We have a business relationship, and she was worried that something bad might happen to me. So, I finally got it all fully charged up with Kuvaki, and then never went and used it all up at once!
You're right. It was all my fault. I didn't mean to drain all the Kuvaki in the pendant, but I'll make it...
You will? Well, in that case, how about you...
I knew you'd say that. Well, it's yours if you want it.
You're putting me in a difficult position here.
It's a very useful thing to have around, but I have a funny feeling it won't be around much longer.
Looks like bankruptcy for me.
Hey, don't be so pessimistic. See this through and you never know.
How are things going? Feeling ready?
Oh, I was born ready. We only have 2 days. You think Lord Sangamabe would let an opportunity like this slip by? Don't forget, when something's in high demand, the people with the goods on hand get to charge the highest price of all. Even higher than the sellers taking advance orders. Ta-da! See? It's right here.
Ah, it's so pretty. Did you make it?
No, I have a supplier. We go way back, so he made me a very attractive offer.
Aha! No wonder you were talking about lucky charms at the meeting.
That's not the full story. It actually started a while back as a project between me and the Dendro Archon. Mage Alice once warned me that this world won't stay safe forever. There may come a day when everyone faces a great crisis. I passed this on to the Dendro Archon, and she secretly brought together a research team made up of Sumeru's top scholars to invent a technology that could keep people. Anyway, point being, it was the Dendro-Archon who asked Kaveh to build this little contraption. As one of the top Kashara War talents, he was the obvious choice. Took him long enough. He stressed over it for ages. Must have gone through at least a dozen designs before producing a final product. Marak delivered it to me a couple of days ago, along with a letter from Kaveh. Could I act so nosy? My fault for sending him the research permit to begin with.
Surely Nahida must have told him you were involved in this project. He was probably just nervous because you're always so secretive about your business.
Could be, could be. Anyway, I just replied, let's hope there never has to be a use case, because it would involve grave danger.
Fair enough. But it sounds like he was just being cautious. He probably felt responsible as the one who made it.
Or maybe he was asking as a favor for his housemate. He's done that before. Either way, all's well that ends well. I'm just glad to finally have my hands on the product. I wouldn't want to be without it. Huh? What does that look mean?
Paimon's just super surprised. This must be the...
Well, a long time ago, I made a promise to myself. I promised that I was gonna live every day of my life with a big beaming... There are always gonna be times in life when you have to give something back. That could mean paying back a debt, returning a favor, or showing some... Alice has been a huge help to me over the years. She was the first investor I ever had. And I want my investors to know that Lord Sangamabe is the best in the business. And more than that, no one knows what the future will bring. Whatever happens, I want to make sure the Dendro-Archon and all of Sumeru is prepared to face whatever comes. Oh, that? I was just making sure Nefer and I are square. Don't be thinking it was some sort of benevolent act. I'm no saint, so don't treat me like something I'm not. My priority is doing the business that I want to do. So long as my conscience lets me, but it usually does. That's the Lord Sangamabe business model.
Alright, if you say so.
I do say so, and that's the whole point. I'm a businesswoman. Don't go trying to figure out what kind of person I am. You'll exhaust your... Oh, and could you two help me get this stuff where it needs to be? Thanks so much. You're my favorite assistants.
Traveler, Paimon, it's good to see you.
Everything going smoothly over here?
Sort of. As you're probably aware, Varka, Diren, and I captured some abyssal... Per the plan, we dissected and analyzed some samples of these creatures.
What? You can actually dissect the wild hunt?
That depends on your definition of wild hunt and dissection.
Harmless, lifeless. These words are accurate descriptions.
The wild hunt is an interesting phenomenon. In and of itself, it doesn't seem to possess anything akin to a human personality. But taken as a collective, the medium through which the wild hunt is summoned does appear to have a soul. Master griped a lot about the wise Horoptatyr, and seemed somewhat fascinated with the foul Certology. But she barely mentioned Rerir at all. I don't think that was because of his lower social standing, though. Anyway, it's a pity. I should like to hear her thoughts on the nature of the life form he has become today. It's a strange mix. The furious energy of an abyssal being channeled through a fractured physical existence. Perhaps the only explanation for his survival in this state is that he sacrificed a degree of individuality in exchange for... Sorry. Once I get talking about interesting research, I have a tendency to go on indefinitely. Back to our research findings. Essentially, they confirm my hypothesis. Rerir's corpse is completely contaminated by the Abyss, and the effects are irreversible. You could think of this as Rerir in mutated form. But in my view, even that would be inaccurate. In reality, his whole being has been consumed by the Abyss. In other words, he is now... Unfortunately, at present, we have no means of completely eradicating abyssal power. Hence, we cannot fundamentally destroy the Rerir of Solnari either.
Oh, that's terrible news! So, that's it? We can't defeat him? Not even if we get the power—
Miss Columbina's situation is a difficult one. She can never achieve wholeness when the world does not accept her presence. It's as if her creator banished her to a place she can never be accepted. It means she spends most of her energy just on her own survival.
Given the circumstances, it's only natural to despair. But we must see this plan through to the end. Time to kick off the backup plan.
Oh, Paimon almost forgot! This is for you. Dory asked us to bring it.
Ah, how wonderful. Well, thank you for making the trip. Durin and
I'm sorry I won't be there to protect you in person this time. Please be—
All right then. Stay safe.
Miss Lauma, is everyone here?
Yes. The fate of my flock is in your hands, Grandmaster Varka.
My lady, what are you saying?
Within the next 24 hours, we will face— This is not a burden that we deserve to bear. But I believe that we reap what we sow in this life. So I intend to act. I must do what I think is right. For me, that means fighting for the future of Krai. This gentleman is the Grand Master of the Knights of Favonius, Varka, Knight of Boreas. In my absence—
Hey, everyone. Guess I should introduce myself. Well, to start with, I know my way around a battlefield. Biggest strengths are honesty and hard-workingness. Anyway, point is, I don't intend to let Lauma down. I'm...
Something on your mind?
Miss Columbina, was it? I believe that's how the others addressed you.
That's right. Names are funny things. Have you always been called—
Yes. I take it your own name has a more—
I have a different relationship with names than other people. To be honest, I'm not even— but it's what everyone calls me, and I go along with it. A lot of my life has been that way. I get so used to things that I forget to question why they are so. I never used to think much about where names come from, or what they mean to people. Maybe—
You're different from other people. I sensed it.
You're more perceptive than most. I'm sure you're long— Do you ever find yourself missing Conria, Mr. Dainsleif?
Difficult to answer. I have dreamed of the past many, many times. Sometimes I'm fighting tooth and nail. I don't recall any happy moments from that time.
Is that because hatred survives longer than love and affection?
That would not be for me to say. I make no excuses for the grudges I bear. Thank you for your help with the Rerir situation. Without your—
You're welcome. I know he's your friend.
Friend? He betrayed me. And I never really understood what he was going through in life. Some friend...
Okay. So, do you plan to fight him with us? You see, you're torn. Now you know what really happened. You see the things he's...
I need some time.
Of course. I completely understand. Actually, I went through something similar myself recently.
You mean the Harbingers who still support you, even though you've left the Fatui?
Yes. I always thought they were only helping me because Harbingers are forced to work together. Yet even now, they support me, which means I was wrong about them all along.
Clearly, they view you as a friend.
I feel a little guilty now. I regret not seeing their help for what it was, and not treasuring it. I see the guilt that you're feeling now, because I feel it too. Have you noticed that the Traveler and Paimon are over there? I think they've been listening.
Huh. Shall we say hello?
Sure. Hello.
Ah! It caught us!
I apologize for making you worry. No doubt you wish to know where I stand on the plan to take down the Recher of Solmari.
You will? Oh, thank you so much! Everyone will be so grateful to hear that!
They needn't be. This was something that I was going to have to face up to eventually.
That doesn't matter to them. They're grateful to you regardless. You can't control their gratitude, so just accept it. And then...
It's nearly showtime! Let's go rendezvous with the others. You know the place.